What's up, everybody, and welcome to a special birthday edition of Clairvoyant Audio Files, the second episode. I'm Levi, joined by Tommy as per usual, and we are on the in-between of our birthdays.
Yes. Mine is passed. I'm still waiting on my gift.
From my to you, your gift came to me. We will show it today.
Early.
Yeah. Yours was saying it said it was a 2-day delivery, and then
you also sent it to my P.O. box, so that shifts things.
Oh, really?
If you would have sent it to my house, I would have had it already.
What's the deal with the P.O. box? What's that all about?
What's the deal with P.O. box?
What's the deal? What is the deal with P.O.? It just takes longer?
It's to change hands somewhere between Amazon and USPS.
Let's get into the vinyl pickups of this week. Or record or CD, whatever. I don't have any CDs, but we can always show off. Because I've been kind of dabbling and looking at CDs as well.
I just got one. I got a CD player at Goodwill. We were out and about, so ran in, just was like, sometimes they have CDs, and I thought they used to have like piles of CDs, like when you first walked in. There's one row now in the back.
Not much shit that you want usually, but sometimes there's a gem or two in there.
Yeah, I didn't have a cassette deck, and I have cassettes, so I wanted something to play those on, but it's a 3-disc changer, and then now I can take the old Blu-ray player, I hooked that up to the TV in the bedroom, so now I can watch movies on that TV, because my James Bond set's Blu-ray.
Yes, there you go. That's what I had back in the day, was a 3 CD changer with the detachable speakers you could move around. Like, that was like the go-to boombox back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, I remember that thing. I miss that thing.
Yeah, So I got a CD, because I got a CD player, so might as well look. And I found this, which on vinyl is like $120. It's kind of like the going rate. So
damn, might as well face it, you're addicted to love.
I'll get the $2.99 CD. So Nelson, their dad was Ricky Nelson, 50s teen idol. He was on Ozzie and Harriet, all that stuff.
Sweet.
And he was in Rio Bravo with Dean Martin, one of my favorite Westerns. But yeah, it's a reissue. It's not the actual 90. It's 96, so it looks real cheap on the CD, but it sounds great.
Yeah, some of those were like that, though, from the 90s.
Yeah. I always thought
that's cool.
They looked like they should have been in Poison, and they kind of missed that hairband wave because it's 90, but there's some pretty good songs on here. There's a couple that almost sound like I guess it would be like AOR adult contemporary, because it's like kind of Styxy, but not as proggy as Styx, but like REO Speedwagon.
Gotcha.
But with like a hair metal blend. Is what
I'll check out Nelson. I've never actually heard of him, so
yeah, you would know the big hit, which was "Can't Live Without Your Love and Affection." You would know that.
Put it on sometime. We were talking about Steely Dan the other day, and that was like, we were having that same conversation of, oh yeah, I know a bunch of these songs, I just didn't know it was Steely Dan.
Yeah, I kind of grew up listening to them. That was one of my dad's bands.
I guess I'll go in order, kind of, which I got these. This one was a short a couple days ago, but Life is Killing Me from Typo Negative with all the glares on it.
Also, excuse my voice; it's pretty rough. Allergies have gotten the best of me.
I went to the local record store, Block Street, to get the reissue or the run out groove of Origin of the Feces, and they actually had this, which they have not had Life is Killing Me before. So I was like, I kind of want that. So I went with Life is Killing Me. Just bang for your buck wise. They were both $60, which, like, obviously, yes, I can get them less online, but I'm supporting the local record store. But bang for your buck, Life is Killing Me.
Plus, you get it right then instead of waiting 2 days on Amazon.
Yeah.
Or not that,
like
eBay.
2 days is still great, but anyways,
we're spoiled.
I'll get Origin of the Feces off eBay at some point, because there's some on there that are like 40, whatever. But it'll go. I want to get it before the run out groove has ran out, basically. So.
Hey.
And they did release World Coming Down. I didn't realize this, but they did do a 20th anniversary run out of that. But they must have did like a very limited bit of it because there's like one copy on eBay. So that one's just hard to get. I guess I'm gonna have to wait for the 30th or something, or find a bootleg because that one's just. I have it on CD, but I want it on vinyl. I need World Coming Down and Origin of the Feces to complete the vinyl collection of Typo Negative. So, anyways, life is killing me. That was my least recent pick. The first least recent, whatever, something like that.
Gotcha. And then my most recent got the same day as the Nelson CD and the CD player, but also did a local stop, which I haven't done in a while. So I had 3 on my list. I sent to Levi. I was like, okay, I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, not to be confused with the Aerosmith song.
I couldn't help much on that one, actually.
I got Human League Dare. Don't You Want Me, of course, probably their biggest hit.
Don't you want me, baby?
But yeah, $20 with the hype sticker, still has the shrink, still has the original store sticker on it. It was originally $8.99, but your price $7.87.
Wow.
And I paid $20 for
that.
it.
A little 5% discount.
Yeah, I just wanted something. I need every now and then I need one of those palette cleanser albums, like something different that I don't have a lot of. And pop, synth, new wave is something that I thoroughly enjoy now, and I need more of it in my collection. So
gotta have it on the shelf, man. You gotta have it
on
the shelf.
I have like one Pet Shop Boys, which I want more of them. Some of the Cure stuff is kind of pop synthy, new wavy. But like
early Depeche Mode, if you had any of that.
Early Depeche Mode. Yeah, I looked for Depeche Mode. I looked for
New Order,
Bauhaus, which they're goth. I looked for New Order. I looked for, what else did I look for? Joy Division.
I was gonna say, do you have Unknown Pleasures?
No, that shit's so hard to find. I'm just gonna have to get a repress of that.
Yeah, the originals of that is hard to find. That's like Killing. There's a band called Killing Joke. I want to get their stuff. And they don't have their self-titled album with The Weight and all that stuff on it. That one I can't really find a vinyl copy. I haven't looked that hard, but anyways, it's
that
like those
new
palette
wave
cleansers.
Stuff has went through the roof.
It's very popular on vinyl. That's the issue.
Yeah,
it's like that's
it sounds great. That Human League record sounds awesome.
I bet. Synth wave. I guess I'll do what you did. Here's my most recent pickup. This was yesterday, and this one's nothing like super exciting, but I had to complete the original Thrash run of Metallica, so I got Master of Puppets with the Walmart battery brick vinyl. So I have the red Kill 'Em All, the blue Ride the Lightning, the battery brick Master of Puppets, and then the green and Justice for All, which is my favorite of the colors because I like green, but... So got Master of Puppets to kind of seal the deal on that. So now I just need Saint Anger, and I'll be I guess I got to count Garage Days. So I need Saint Anger and then Garage Days. I got
to start getting those before they go up in price.
Yeah, cause, I mean, I think Garage Days gets a 4 LP. It's like $50 even at Walmart. Which all the Metallica stuff is like 20. I think Black Album's 30 at Walmart. Which I don't have. I have the best
20. Black Album. I think it's like $28.98 or something like that.
Yeah, and it's got the black smoke or gray, whatever it is. It's something like that in the Walmart color. And then Garage Days is blue, which is cool.
And then next up, I did it because I had to do it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to spend $30 on a record I was never really going to listen to. I still haven't listened to the entire thing. I've only listened to side one twice. Kiss Monster, the last studio album from Kiss, featuring Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer in the Ace and Peter makeup, which causes a stir.
Shout out to Tommy Thayer's hair, by the way.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's very nice.
It's really nice.
He's got some locks on him.
I like that it has this hype sticker. I'm a sucker for that. I've said that 1,000 times.
Is it like 180 gram or something? Hype sticker?
Yeah, 180 gram, no filler, no ballads, just full throttle rock and roll, featuring their rock radio hit, Heller Hallelujah, a full-on aerial assault. And that was a quote from Rolling Stone.
That's a bit
Which,
hyperbolic, but yeah.
yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, I'll
it's not.
say this.
It's not a
It's
bad.
not bad. It's just not what I wanted.
It's like it's a topic that I think we're going to discuss at some point, but it's kind of they're just kind of punching it in, you
I
know.
think that's the next episode. I like that idea.
Yeah, it's just they're just kind of punching it in, but it's
Yeah.
whatever. I listen when you said you got it, I put it on because I'd never listened to it. Listened to a couple songs, and then I actually listened to Sonic Boom after that, which had some decent stuff on it, like
Yeah.
some
Out of
catchy
the
stuff.
two, Sonic Boom is way better.
Monsters, what,
But
2012,
yeah.
something like that. Shortly
Yeah.
after Sonic Boom.
Yeah. Sonic Boom was 08, 09?
Yeah, '09. The
Something
the,
like
the
that.
CD came out in 2010, I think it said. The ones I keep finding on
The
eBay they say
non-Walmart?
I don't
Maybe
know.
that's
It's
the
the three
non-Walmart.
discs. It's the DVD, the re-recordings, and then the actual. Yeah, I don't know.
But also, so that's the last Kiss studio album I needed for my collection. So that's why I finally pulled the trigger on $30. But
Aside from
I
Sonic
say
Boom.
that aside from Sonic Boom, which I'm probably going to end up having to get a bootleg copy because I'm not spending $500 on a record
That's crazy.
that I'm definitely not going to listen to. But I also said I would never
Maybe
spend $100 on a record, and I did that pretty much for Hot in the Shade. So
maybe yeah, it's true. Maybe 2029 they'll do like a 20th anniversary
I
of it or
love how
something.
$80 becomes 100 automatically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the tax, Uncle Sam's got to get his. The shipping
Yeah.
sucks. Whatever.
It was $83 after tax and shipping.
Which
That's
isn't
closer
terrible
to
because
100.
I've been watching Hot in the Shade stuff, and right now I think 150, 200 is about the cheapest I can find.
And that's
So
original UK. So yeah,
yeah, there's one from Italy I think that was like 80, but then when
yeah,
you add it all up, it's like 150 basically.
yeah.
So my next pickup, this one would have been I don't know. Afterlife is Killing Me? Yeah, I think it was Afterlife is Killing Me. Local record store.
Oh
I saw
yeah, big
Live
boy.
After Death. We had a short of this as well, but it is the 2014 reissue or 2015, whatever it was, but it sounds phenomenal. One of the discs was I
That's the
think it
one
was
that
the
faded
static
in and
deal.
out, right?
It did. It was just the volume kind of did that, but otherwise, it sounds amazing. It's loud. All the Maiden remasters are pretty loud. Like they remastered it pretty loud, so which is cool because the one I'm about to get to after this is like it sounds really good. But yeah, just compared to like if I played this next to the Walmart Metallica ones, this is way louder. Like my speakers are on the same volume, and it's like Kill 'Em All or something. I almost have to crank up pretty loud. So, anyways, yeah, Live After That sounds amazing. I mean, it's iconic Maiden live. It's like it's the first Maiden live album that Made in Japan was, I guess, the first live album, but
that was
that's
an
the
EP.
first like yeah, this was kind of the first
That's a full show.
like they made it was during the World Slavery Tour, just 300 and something day, like just an insane tour, and it has all the tour dates in the booklet. It comes with a bunch of pictures, and it's pretty cool. It comes with a lot of special stuff. And I think it was like $40, which isn't terrible for that.
Which I mean, that's what I'm looking at. I told you after you bought it, I've got like 8 OG copies I'm watching on eBay, and the cheapest one's 40. So
that's what I wanted OG, but then I saw it in person, and it changes your like. I
yeah,
can still
and it's
collect
clean.
the OGs. Yeah, yeah, little shavings on it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pay $40 for an OG, mainly because I'm trying to get it with the book and the merch order for him. So
Yeah,
because I like those, and I don't have a Maiden one.
I was asking the owner of Block Street about. I was like unofficial releases, and he's like they're bootlegs, and I was like okay. I was like because some things you kind of have to go that route on because he had a Danzig tape, the original album, and I was like, it reminded me to ask him about it. He's like, yeah, they're essentially bootlegs because I bought my Alice in Chains self-titled from there, and I was like, it's a unofficial or whatever. I was like, but it's, I mean, it sounds amazing. It just doesn't have like Columbia on the spine and the back of it. Like the discs, the LP says Columbia, but yeah. Anyways.
And my final one, I actually got after we posted this as a short because it was in your collection already, and I was trying to hold out for an OG, but can't beat the price. the debut.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got the debut. Yeah.
Let's turn that way. Maybe that works. There we go. But yeah, like you said, man, these remasters are
They sound
so
amazing.
loud, and
Yeah.
I mean in a good way, not like not bricked. Like
No,
you
no,
can
not bricked
hear
like
everything. It's
the
just
loudness
loud.
wars. Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds really good. Everything's
Um,
pretty balanced, like the
because
remaster.
I listened to that like as soon as I Amazon dropped it off, I opened the box, slapped it right on, cleaned it
Yeah.
first, of course, because it's a little
Wah,
dusty.
wah, wah, wah,
Oh
wah.
man, it sounded
Prowler is
so
such a
good.
cool song too.
But then night before last, I was just kind of like putting laundry away or whatever. And I was like, I want to listen to Maiden. So I put Seventh Son back on because that's my other everything else I have is OG. And
Yeah,
then I have my
those two.
repress of Seventh Son. And man, that thing is just so crispy and clean. Oh my God, it
Yeah,
sounds so good.
that
I'm
is
starting to love that record.
Seven Sons. Freaking, it's pretty highly regarded. That I need to get Seventh Son. I want it next, but some part of me is like, I need to get No Prayer for the Dying, even though it's not high up on my
Yeah,
list, just to get it done while it's $25.
yeah.
Because I feel like that one being less popular, once it kind of sells out, it's gonna lay low. Like you'll be able to get
Yeah.
copies. I don't know. I haven't looked into No Prayer for the Dying too much. I'd like to get an OG, but I've never
I
even looked up what the OGs
think,
cost.
no,
It's because it's
it's
like
like 80,
1990 or something,
89,
88 or 90.
9.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember if it's
It's
90 or 89.
it's the cheapest one I think I found was like 80 or $90.
Okay, Seven Sons 87, so I'm pretty sure it was 89 or
Yeah.
90. Was No Prayer
And
for the
even that
Dying.
one was starting, that's where it kind of starts to get
Yeah,
out of control.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, No
Okay,
Prayer
and
for the
then
Dying is like 26 on Amazon, I think.
yeah,
And then Fear the
it
Dark is
fluctuates.
like
33, I think. I need to get Fear of the Dark
34,
as
35.
well.
Yeah, I need those two.
The X Factor and Virtual 11, I don't know how I'm gonna ever get those on vinyl, but
Bootlegs.
yeah, probably the boot skis. My last vinyl pickup is
Bootarinos.
actually my birthday present from you, so thank you, my friend. And I was very surprised when I opened the box to see it, and I was a little pissed off because I was like, monetarily, my birthday present doesn't equate to this, but Brave New World, the comeback of Bruce Dickinson and Yannick, or Yannick joining the band as now, then they're a six piece from here on out. But dude, it sounds so freaking good on vinyl, and it's Brave New World's just, it's hard to find a bad song. This is definitely Brave New World's definitely when they start getting kind of like the longer and like pushing proggy kind of songs. More the songs get a little more adventurous or just
Yeah.
longer. But like, I mean, it opens with the Wicker Man, and then Brave New World is such a great song. Blood Brothers, Dream of Mirrors. I texted you that, but I forgot how good that chorus is, and it's
Yeah.
just him saying I dream in black and white" or whatever. But like the chords that go along with it, and that, Out of the Silent Planet, that's a great song towards the end of the record. The Mercenary, the Nomad, like it's good from front to back. So thank you for that. But
You're welcome.
that's Brave New World's, it's pretty high up for me.
That was a
Like
big hitter.
yeah, yeah, that was like yeah, I think out of like that era of rock slash metal guys from the 80s and 90s, like you're coming out of the grunge era and you're getting in this like new metal alternative kind of thing or post alternative, and Maiden just comes out and was like, "Nah, we're Iron Maiden." Like there was no
Yeah.
experimentation with that whatsoever, and
Well, and
they took it to the next level with that
that's when
album.
those bands like Maiden and Kiss and even the hair bands, that's when they've got that first big resurgence of like nostalgia. So they were
Yeah,
like, especially the hair bands, they were doing like 3 and 4 band tour packages every summer in the early
yeah,
2000s. And then, but I mean, Maiden just stayed true to themselves. They were just Iron Maiden.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's another thing about them that like I didn't appreciate as a teenager. I liked them, but I didn't like them as much as I like them now because now I actually listen to the music like and kind of like dissect the different instruments, and you listen to a song differently every time you listen to it. And
yeah.
that's kind of the fun of finding all this older music that because let's face it, we're not really listening to new stuff. I mean, you like a lot of more newer bands than I do, but
Yeah.
I mean, like I see stuff all the time and I'm like, I don't even know who that is. Like people touring,
Yeah,
I'm like,
there's
how are they selling out an arena? I don't know who they are.
oh yeah, the
And
stuff that
and
comes
it's not
through
just trying to be
here.
cool or whatever. I really don't know.
No, there's some stuff that comes through here and it's like it's a sold out show and I'm like I never heard of this in my
Yeah.
life. But people like the indie like the hipster music. Like that's kind
Yeah.
of it's just not my thing, man. It doesn't do anything for me.
And if that's
No
what you like, that's
shame.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's just it doesn't really do anything for me. There's some stuff I can get down with, like some like experimental like I like everything, but there's some stuff that I listen to that I'm just like I mean, it's cool. Like musically it's great, like great musicians, but it's not my thing, you know.
I had
I gotta have a groove.
I had a short conversation with somebody on one of the shorts that I posted on the page. And basically it was like, they don't make music like this anymore is what they said. And I said, it's not so much that it is that, but it's also, there's no genres anymore.
Did you see Rick
Like,
Beato's video about the
no, I didn't,
genres? Okay,
but
I saw,
I
yeah.
haven't seen that yet, but
I saw a clip where he talks about, but before I forget it. He was like, we're in an era right now where there's not really like, he said every decade or era had like a genre that was kind of at the top. 90s was grunge and alternative. 80s was like hair metal, new wave of British heavy metal.
new
2000s was new
wave, even.
metal. Yeah, in new wave back in the 70s and 80s. Stuff. There was always something that was kind of really popular. And then now it's like, there's really I think it's just because music's so available
Hmm.
that there like you can listen to whatever you want. It's not the same as back in the day when you go to the CD store or the record store and you're like, what am I going to get today? Sometimes you just buy shit based on the cover or because you've heard
Yeah.
like they have a cool song.
Yeah.
So it's just different. But no, 100%. That's right. We're in an era right now where there's not really like a leading genre unless it's
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
But I said she's her own genre. But
She's
I
it's
said
just yeah.
that the main genre that's suffering from that is country music. And I like country music, but I like,
Yeah.
which I mean, I've always said I don't really consider Garth Brooks country music. He is, but he isn't.
He
Like he's
is.
more of an
Yeah.
entertainer. He's kind of like that Taylor Swift level, you can sell at a
Yeah.
stadium. But
Yeah.
like George Strait, George Jones, all the outlaw country, that kind of cool
Hank
stuff. Buck
Williams, Merle
Owens, who I'm a
Haggard.
huge fan of.
Yeah.
That's not what's out now is not country music. It's pop.
Crosby,
It's
Stills,
just
Nash and
popular
Young.
music. Well, that's kind of
Oh, the
folky.
song. I know
Folklore.
that song Ohio though just
Yeah.
fucking does it for me, man. Don't
But like we were talking about Steely Dan the other day, and it's funny because I was in the car and I had the Yacht Rock station on. And I don't know
Oh,
if you've seen
nice.
the HBO documentary yet on it, but
Uh-uh.
uh they tried to talk to Donald, the lead singer from Steely Dan, and at the end during the credits, and he's like, the interviewer asked him, he's like, "What do you think of Yacht Rock?" And he's like, "I hate the fucking term," and hangs up on the guy. It was hilarious.
What like yacht rock? I don't really understand.
It's
It's
like
just shit you play on a yacht,
Michael
I guess.
McDonald. It's like just that smooth, like you kind of don't know what it is, and like people have like lumped
Yeah.
Hall and Oates in it, and
So
Daryl
Steely
Hall
Dan would be
says
kind of
he's
considered
not.
yacht rock.
Yeah, because they kind of, Michael McDonald flirted with that band for a while. He toured with them and
Yeah.
he did some backing stuff on it. And like Christopher Cross, Sailor,
Christopher
keep me
Cross.
away. I can't sing right now, but
Yeah.
um that kind of stuff. Just easy listening, kind of, whatever. Like some of it's a little rockier and some of it's, you got the keyboards and piano in it and the
Yeah.
you don't know me, but I know
Yeah,
you.
I gotcha. I kind
That
of like I
shit.
get what it is, but it's
Yeah.
like I just didn't know it was such a genre. That was all your pickups, right? Maiden was the
Yeah.
last one. Okay,
Four and
I got
four
mine done.
because I had a CD. But yes, I am looking right now. I'm trying to get Danzig 3 on CD because I can't find a bootleg of it and I want it because I like it.
Yeah.
And Badlands, which was kind
Oh
of the
God.
end.
Badlands. That's
Jake
who is
Ely, Ray Gillen. and Eric Singer's on the drums.
Okay, it's Jake Ely. I'm thinking of that. I was
Yeah.
like, I know that. I know someone was Badlands as somebody's band before they
Yeah.
did something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was right after he left Ozzy.
Oh, it was after he left Ozzy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's 89, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, because he did
Um,
he did Bark at the Moon and Ultimate Sin, and then left. I think.
right.
Yeah.
Um, but the vinyl is super expensive.
Badlands. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen it in
Um,
an old Metal Hammer magazine
yeah,
before,
yeah,
or not
yeah.
Metal Hammer.
But
Metal
that album
Edge.
fucking kicks ass, dude. And it's got Eric Singer, so Kiss adjacent.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Kiss
So I'm
adjacent.
looking for that. I can't do the vinyl. It's too expensive. It's like 180, $200. But CDs are like
Crazy.
20. A lot of CDs are starting to go up again because everybody's
Yeah.
collecting them. And
Yeah.
then I found a
They're
cassette
more
though
than
for
when I used to buy them
seven
back in the
bucks.
day.
Yeah.
Oh, the cassette's 7? That's not
Yeah.
bad at
I
all.
might pick
Cassettes are
that
cool
up.
to listen to.
Yeah. So funny when I bought the Human League in the local shop, I was talking to the guy that kind of handles the records and checks Discogs and, marks all the prices up, which I'm not a fan of, but hey, he's got to make his nut. And I'm pretty sure that's what keeps that place in business at this point. But
Probably.
I said, "Hey man, do you see a lot of like younger kids coming in? Like I'm just curious because I want to know why I can't find what I'm looking for all the time. That's what these teenagers are buying is, the shit that we like." And I said, "What's up with cassettes all of a sudden?" He goes, "I've found that 90% of the teenagers that come in here to buy cassettes, it's because they got their first car and they're so old
And it's got the
that the
cassette
only
player
thing
in
that
it.
works in their car is the cassette deck." And
Yep.
I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense."
I used to
So
have the one with the
maybe,
wire to hook up to my phone
oh,
too.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And he might have solved that mystery for me. But I was
That's
just
probably
curious why
it.
cassette sales were so high now.
That's funny that so when I talked to the owner of Block Street, he sees me a lot now, enough because sometimes I'll just kill like my lunch. I'll go in there and just browse stuff, but he'll be like, "How's it going, man?" And we'll talk for me. He always kind of talks to me like I'm not one of the youth. Like I'm like, oh shit, like it's
You're
noticeable
an
that
old
I'm
head.
older. Yeah, I'm becoming an old head, like 32 tomorrow. So not that that's old, but like this dude came in. He's probably 19, 20. I don't know. He's a college kid and he's like, I'm looking to get like a setup because I like to listen to vinyl because I think vinyl's the best way to listen. Like I heard him talking, I was like, oh my god, shut the fuck up, dude. But that's just a generational thing.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
way they talk, I'm just like, just get your point across. Like I don't care. You don't got to flex on what you're going to buy. Just
yeah,
tell him what you're looking for. Like you're wasting
yeah.
his time too. Anyways,
Get to the point.
when he left, yeah, like I'm not doing right now, but he
Well, we're filling time.
yes, but the guy when he
We're
left,
creating.
I was like, oh, he's like, how's it going, man? And I was like, good. How are you? And he's like, oh, just educating the youth of tomorrow or something like that. And he like kind of chatted with me for a second. And I'm like, he sees me as like an older head now, man. Like
Yeah,
I'm falling into that. Like, I guess I'm visibly not like 20. Like if I shaved my beard, I would look way younger. But I think that you got some crow's feet going on. But
oh yeah.
all right, so today's topic is we kind of went back and forth on this, but it's going to be top 10 albums that we own that like
Or play the
that we
most.
or own or play the most. Yeah, so it's basically like I kind
But
of
we have
went
to
my
have them.
list. Yes. The disclaimers of this is we tried not to do a band more than once. I don't think we did do a band. If you
I did
didn't, I
not.
definitely didn't
I did not.
either. Some of these are like collective hours listened for me, like just stuff I have to have in my collection because it's like I've listened to that a lot. I love that album, and yeah, so I guess that's kind of it's kind of ghetto,
Not
Howard,
necessarily our favorite albums of all time, but it's pretty
but
close
kind
to it.
of yeah, because like some are favorite, but yes, yeah, it's like it's top 10 physical media that we own that we've either listened to a lot or our favorite or like have to have or yeah whatever, and this one can be a recurring episode as time goes on and our collections grow because we'll get things that like oh yeah I had to have this is now in the
Yeah.
collection.
So first up, number 10.
uh,
This is This album is one of those like daytime listens while I'm doing other stuff like dishes or laundry or whatever, just because I've listened to it so many times since I got it that I don't have to hear it all the time. Like I don't have to hear every little nuance of every song because it's just a fucking rocker. White Snake, Slide It In.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Love Ain't No Stranger, of course. The title track,
Bam, bam,
Slow and
bam.
Easy. Um, yeah, I mean, just front to back, top to bottom. I can listen to this on repeat because it's just such a
Yeah.
great, like David Coverdale's voice. Like I blow him all the time, but his fucking voice is just so bluesy,
Love ain't no stranger.
but like hard rock.
Yeah.
Coming from that school of Deep Purple and everything, and then having his own thing, but it was like David Coverdale's White Snake, but that was like his solo thing, and then it just turns
Yeah.
into White Snake as
White
we
Snake.
all know it. But that's the US version with John Sykes on guitar. The UK version's different, but John Sykes just passed not too long ago, a couple months ago. And I mean, when I found out he died, I had to play that record like 3 times because
Yeah.
his guitar work on it's so great. And there's also his band after he left White Snake and Steve Vai joined was Blue Murder, and I'm also on the hunt for that, but the vinyl has went up since he passed, obviously. So that might be a CD pickup, which man, it's this hobby is getting ridiculous because I just
It's
want
just kind
vinyl,
of
but
like, at least you
CDs
got
are like
CDs to pick up too, you know?
space filler. Like I
It's,
can't get the
that's
vinyl
the word I was
yet,
using.
but it's kind
Space
of
filler.
like I wish I had all my CDs I had
Yeah.
before and didn't get rid of them. I kept
There's
some of them.
there was a stack that I had that somebody stole or something, but it was like Maiden, Matter, Life, and Death, all my Slayer CDs except for God Hates Us All, and then a Megadeth System is Fit. Like I remember because those CDs disappeared, and
I
I'm like,
think
I
that's
wish I
the
still
only
had
Slayer
them.
CD I have. Is God Hates Us All.
That's a good one though.
Yeah. The
All right,
white is
man.
it the white cover?
Yeah, with the
The
crosses on
red?
it. There's a censored cover too. I think that's
Yeah.
like the slip that goes over it, and then the actual cover is like I can't remember what it is, but I have it on the shelf.
Okay.
Give me that number
All right.
9, man.
9. Sorry. I forgot what we were doing here. 1978.
Doing stuff.
Rolling Stones, Some Girls. This is my favorite Rolling Stones record. I know a lot of Stones fans don't really like it because it's a little more poppy, a little more disco dance flair to it, but it's got the hits on it. Miss You, the title track, Shattered, which is probably my favorite Rolling Stones song, or my second favorite, maybe. Um, but yeah, this one's got the original cover before they had to change it when they got sued, with the different celebrities on it, Marilyn Monroe and all that shit.
That's a pretty
Yeah,
sweet cover. Is that an
great
OG?
record. Yeah,
Where'd you say? Okay, nice.
yeah, I'll pull it out,
The Stones.
and then you can take that out. That's die cut. The
That's
faces.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
that's
sweet.
really cool. So it
Yeah,
fills the. It's
fills the
yeah.
yeah, yeah, and then Faraway
I,
Eyes, great song. Beast of Burdens on this one. I was
I
trying
believe
to
that was
remember.
my wife's grandpa's favorite band was the Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
had
mean,
a
can't go
gigantic
wrong
CD
with the
collection.
Stones, man.
No, no, it is
I
the Stones. I need
I'm
to listen to
on
more.
that Stones over the Beatles. Not that I don't like the Beatles, but I think the Stones were just like the heavier
I guess that's the
version.
path. That's kind of that path is this the Beatles or the Stones, and because they
Yeah.
were the two.
Well, and that's like, or you could say Beatles or Elvis. Elvis trumps easy. So
Yeah, because Beatles are like 50s. Is it
they
60s?
can't 60s, yeah.
Okay, 60s.
64 was their first big year. And
Elvis was
Elvis
putting
was
shit out in the
doing
50s.
movies. Yeah.
Okay.
Elvis was already back from the army and doing movies in the 60s. So,
Yeah.
but you may see him later on. And then at
Okay.
number 8, my favorite Iron Maiden album, Somewhere in
Ooh.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
I
I mean,
play this all the time.
it's pretty. Oh yeah, that's one that. So when I talked about that CD player earlier, not to steal your thunder here, but
No,
when I
you're
talked about
fine.
that, I
OG, Shrink
remember
Wrap.
because that's an OG, right?
Shrink
Yeah,
wrap still on it. Original price tag still on it. 888 up there by the barcode.
that's so crazy, dude.
Yeah.
888
Could
for
you
a
imagine
vinyl.
paying 888 for this?
Yeah, that's nuts.
Man.
I remember the night I got the CD from Walmart, and I put it in my
I'm just gonna touch it
three
because I'll
disc
clean it.
changer. Looks good. It's super clean, yeah, for
Yeah,
an
it is.
OG.
Yeah.
And you got
Yeah.
that before the OG started going crazy.
I got this one for I think it was 36.
Oh, okay, so that's
So
still
at
up
one
there.
point that was I think this was my most expensive vinyl at one point. Not worth
Wow.
wise, but like what I paid for it. And then yeah, it got all the lyrics and shit in it,
For
which is
music
crazy.
heads, like people who
Great
kind of
picture.
dig in the yeah, it's a good one with the futuristic bike thing or whatever they're
Yeah.
sitting on.
Mad
For
Max looking
like
shit.
music connoisseurs, I guess a lot of times it's Somewhere in Time or Seventh Son, because Seventh
Yeah.
Son was, I guess, really and Alexander the Great and whatnot from that, but they were like kind of the introduction to Maiden, like dipping their toe in some like longer, maybe proggier stuff. Like I
Froggy,
say,
yeah.
when I say prog, it's just the structure of the song, not like they're doing 11, 8, and 3, 4 time signatures and stuff. Like
You don't have to
it's not
have
that.
your masters in geometry
And
to figure it out.
yeah, it's not like that. No, no, not at all. So
Yeah. It's not
that's a good one. That's a
Rush,
good one at
but
number 7.
it's
No, no, and Rush is that's on my hit list. I can actually get an OG Moving Pictures less than I can get the repress at Walmart. So I think I'm
I
gonna
thought
go
it was
OG
funny
on
you were
that one.
afraid I was gonna buy it.
No, I just thought it would be funny if I was like, check this out, and then you're like, nice, and then you send me a confirmation.
That would
All
have been
right,
funny.
these mine kind of coincide with my top 10 artists in a way, I guess, and that's kind of how I went off this. But also, again, time like hours listened, albums. That's kind of like, oh yeah, that's probably one of my favorites type thing, and that's where number 10 comes into play. It's a CD, but Rage Against the
Oh
Machine,
yeah.
Battle of Los Angeles. This was kind of an album to my childhood in a way because Guerrilla Radio was on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and I
Iconic cover
remember
too.
it's amazing. And the first song, Testify, I remember being with the neighbor kids and the dad. We went to the store or something, and he popped in a tape when I was a kid. It's probably like 2001 ish, and he popped in a tape, and it was Testify. Anyways, Testify is such a cool song. But yeah, Rage is number 10. Battle of Los Angeles is one I always go back to. Like their first album, I love Rage's first album, but Battle of Los Angeles, their last album as a band. It's got a lot of good songs on it, man. One of their best pieces of work. Number 9, I haven't mentioned this band on here. This is also a CD. Kind of went back and forth with this and their 1995 release, but this is Paradise Lost, a UK band, UK metal band, kind of doomy now. They were like doomy death metal when they started, and then goth, and then their second album's actually called Gothic. This is their fourth album. Well, Lost Paradise, Gothic, Shades of God, Icon. Yeah, their fourth album. A lot of great songs on this: Embers Fire, Remembrance, Dying Freedom, Forging Sympathy. That's a set list thing. But yeah, if you haven't listened to Paradise Lost, check them out. It's
I know that
their
cover.
their 90s run was really awesome. Shades of God, Icon, and I was gonna do Draconian Times, but I think I like Icon more. So, but it can kind of flip flop because if I listen to Draconian Times, I'm like, I like that one better. 8 is a new addition to the top
Wait.
10 albums I own. It would be the other one, the third one, but I'm going with number 2. I like Kiss Alive 2 a lot, and I got an OG copy, and I never knew there was original songs on that last side. So that's also pretty sweet. And they just
Rocket
play, I mean,
Ride's the best, man.
the freaking set list, man. Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World, Ladies Room, Making Love, Love Gun, Calling Dr. Love, Christine 16, Shock Me, Hard Lick Woman. I mean, you know the thing. Beth, God of Thunder, I Want You, Shout Out Loud. Like, it's just such, it's a set list. And it's crazy that Alive, I guess 1 and 2 really, but the Alive albums for Kiss, like, it really skyrocketed them into that, like, this is a live band, man. I mean, they're
Yeah.
studio band too, but like, Kiss is
No, you're
big. Like
right.
it's the live
It's the
shows.
show.
People
Yeah.
people love the show. So I was able to get an OG copy for $20. So I'm pretty happy about that. And that's one that I've definitely played it a few times. I have a Live 3 on CD, and that used to be more of my favorite. I guess I still really like it, but Alive 2 is just so iconic. So I've kind of fell in love
The
with that
main
live
the main
record.
difference for me is Paul's vocal. On Alive 3, he was hitting that peak. His peak
Yeah,
years were, you know, somewhere about 87 for Crazy Nights into like until about 2000. And then that's when
was
his
his
decline
peak.
started because he kind of
Okay.
blew it out. But
What's is Alive 96 or something?
Alive
No.
3 is
Alive 3.
93. Yeah.
93. Okay, so that's my birth
Yeah.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That's my 1098.
Okay. My number 7. This one has passed their biggest album for me. I think I talked about it on the first episode, but The Cure, Head on the Door. Um,
Ooh,
it's
interesting.
overall, it's kind of their like in between record, and it has the song In Between Days on it. But it's like they're kind of coming out of that post punk. They're not so gothy or like I don't, it's not doom, but it's like depressing, like moody,
Gothy, depressing,
gothy.
synthy.
Yeah. But this is kind of like
I've
when
not
they
listened to
kind
that
of
one.
start to make it's so good. They start to make that more push towards that pop. It's more synth, more poppy, more radio friendly songs. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, but yeah,
That's
top to
cool. I
bottom.
expected like Disintegration or
No, I think I listen to this one more, honestly. It's
yeah,
one of
that's
those ones I
cool.
like to just like
Head in
kind
the
of like
Door.
lay on the bed and stare at the ceiling and listen to this.
It's one of those albums. Perfect.
Yeah.
I will have to listen to it then.
I still
I've
tell my
never heard that
wife,
album.
I just started telling her like 6 months ago, I was like, I think if I could go back to high school, I'd be a goth kid.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it would be fun.
Oh my
So that was
god.
7. So number 6,
Tig
I
old
didn't
bitties.
mention this band or the singer of this band, and I'm kicking myself in the balls about it on my top 10. They should have been on it.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Misfits.
There we
They're
go.
technically their first release, Walk Among Us. I got this at
Yeah.
Walmart before the big vinyl boom in 19. And now on Discogs, this version, for whatever reason, is like $200. So,
That's awesome. Yeah, I've
yeah,
not seen that in the wild ever, I
yeah.
don't think.
I saw it. It was the only one
Not
they
the
had. It
Walmart one.
was, yeah. Let's see. Hang on.
I think I've seen it at vintage stock before. Or it was that or it might have been Static Age I'm thinking of.
Look at that Walmart sticker, 17.97. I paid for
Oh,
that.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
This makes up for Misfits or Danzig not being on your top 10 artists
Yes.
because
Yes.
that let's say that right now. That was supposed to be on there. And I'll
The cool insert sleeve with the lyrics
does it
and
have a
some
colored
cool.
vinyl or is it just black?
This one's just black,
Okay. Before I
which,
guess it
in my
maybe
opinion, that's the way it should be.
yeah, that's
Unless you
cool. I
wanted to
figured
do
they'd do
like
it pink or
green or
something.
something. Yeah. Unless
Yeah,
you
some
wanted to
kind
do
of
like green.
ghoulish color.
Yeah. Which I think Earth AD, there's a purple and a green. But
Okay.
yeah, Night of the Living Dead, Skulls, Astro Zombies, Brain Eaters, Devil's Whorehouse, Violent World, 20 Eyes, I Turned Into Martian, All Hell's Breaking Loose, Vampira, Nike A Go Go, Hate Breeders, Mommy Can I Go Out and Kill Tonight. It's basically a fucking greatest hits.
Yeah. Well,
I
because
mean,
their whole discography is a greatest hits. Like,
it's 3 records pretty much.
yeah, three records
3 or 4,
is
yeah.
all the Danzig stuff, and
All the
then
Danzig stuff, and then
I like
yeah.
the Michael Graves stuff.
Which yeah, I'd like to get that on vinyl, honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
Famous
but yeah, I have
Monsters
like
and
hits
American
collection
Psycho.
too, with like Last Caress and stuff. So I'll
That's the
eventually
one
get the
that's
whole
green.
discography.
Collection two's the brown
It's like
color.
brown, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have
Um,
it on CD and
I
collection one.
I wish I still had it, but when I had CDs, I had the coffin box, and now
Oh,
that's like
nice.
$200 on eBay.
Yeah, yeah,
I wish I still had that, but that's one that I no longer have. But it was cool
yeah.
with the patch and
Nice.
the button or something and a freaking thick ass book.
You got
So
one more, right?
that's, yeah,
5.
5. I'm missing one. Oh shit, I'm missing one. Hang on a second.
Pause
Uh-oh.
for a quick intermission.
Oh shit, I skipped my original number 8. So Bon Jovi, New Jersey. So a little late to the party because Slippery When Wet came out in 86. This one, well, yeah, I guess. But the Slippery tour was so long, and same with this. This tour went on till late 90, early 91. Um, a lot of people like Slippery When Wet better. The singles I like better on Slippery, but as an album, this is my favorite Bon Jovi record.
What's on New
Um,
Jersey?
Lay Your Hands on Me, Bad Medicine, I'll Be There for You, Born to Be My Baby, Living in Sin was the other single, which I actually think is the best of the singles. Um, Blood on Blood. There's a song on here called Stick to Your Guns. It's kind of like not really a ballad. It's kind of mid tempo, I guess, but I think that's like their most underrated song. Um, yeah, just a good 80s kind of party record. And the Bad Medicine video was so cool because they had the fans filmed with
Bad
like the
medicine. That's
with
such a good
the
song.
handheld cameras and Sam Kinnison's in it. So yeah, that's the
Nice.
original. That's the original number 8, but it'll be there, and I'll take it out, or I won't. Maybe I'll just leave it at 4. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll leave
Well,
it at 4.
we'll see when it comes out, I guess. There we
Yeah,
go.
maybe. Who knows? It doesn't really
Okay.
matter.
My number 7 is also going to be a CD. Actually, the next 3 are CDs because I don't have them on vinyl
Whoa.
yet. My number 7 is from a band called Three Teeth, a modern industrial
Oh.
metal band. There's a signature from the guitarist Chase Bronner. This was their second to last album. Yeah, Meta War from 2019. I had just discovered them right before this, and they had 2 albums prior, self-titled, Three Teeth, and the second one, Shutdown.exe. And then they came out with Meta War in 2019. It's just a very hard-hitting, heavy, modern industrial record. They're influenced by bands like Ministry, Nine Inch Nails, and stuff like that. And it's, to me, I mean, there's a lot of modern industrial that's really good. Youth Code, Frontline Assembly, stuff like that. Well, Frontline's been around a while. But Tim Skold, I think Three Teeth is one that's doing it the best to me. Just for what I like, very low tuned guitars, great synth work, catchy hooks. Like this one's got Affluenza, Exit, American Landfill, President X. It's got the cover of Pumped Up Kicks, which is amazing. Sell Your Face. God, it's a really good record. I'm gonna get their new one on vinyl because I think this one's kind of disappeared. Their new one, oh my god, I
You
can't
did
remember
a
what it's
review
called.
for it on the old channel.
I did. Endex, and
Yep.
Endex is the new one. Newest, I should say. That's
Hey,
my
that
number
got us
7.
some
Three
love on
Teeth.
Instagram from the band.
Yeah, they're cool, pretty cool guys. I got to meet a few of them when I saw them in Kansas City. I can't remember what I was going to say about this. That's it. Oh, it should have been in my top 10 artists. They're one of my favorite artists for
Yeah, I
sure.
was kind of curious about that because you're pretty high on
Yeah,
them.
it's the Danzig and Misfits thing
Yeah.
for you. Like I just totally forgot, but I heard them, fell in love with them. I was like, oh my god, what am I listening to? And I've been super into them ever since. And they're kind of on a cool down right now. Kind of been radio silence, but they'll be back. Number 6. This is kind of one of those ones that falls in the just sheer listening hours. I've had this CD a long time. Actually, I had it, and I think it was one of those ones that disappeared, and so I bought it again for $6.99. Megadeth Euthanasia
Oh.
from 94 is when this one is from. This is not the spine with Vic Rattlehead on it, like Maiden did with Eddie. There's a Megadeth series where you can get the whole Vic Rattlehead picture, but
Like a remaster series with the
yeah.
spines line up.
Euthanasia to me, like, yeah, it's kind of not as thrashy as Rust in Peace, but man, Rust in Peace Countdown to Extinction and Euthanasia and even Cryptic Writings. It's a cool evolution, and I like this one because it's very groovy. It's still got like thrash elements, but it's definitely leans more towards the groove of like slowed down thrash songs. So, instead of 180, it's 120 BPM, and it's like Addicted to Chaos. It's just got the whole album's kind of got like a steady like head bob to it. Toot Lamon, just one of the biggest Megadeth songs out there. Again, Addicted to Chaos, I love that. Elysian Fields, Euthanasia, like it's just a great album. And if you don't like it, you should give it another shot because I think Euthanasia is amazing. So yeah, and I want it on vinyl, but I think the only one they have is like picture disc. So I guess I'll have to get that. I saw
that's the one we talked
local
about,
record shop.
Right?
Yeah. Number 5, this will be coming soon on vinyl. I have to just get it. It's like $20 on Amazon. Ministry's Psalm 69. This is one I ordered from Amazon years ago when I got into ministry before the Prime days. I got it from some store for like $5 or it's pretty beat up. It's been around a long time. There's stickers torn off on it, but Psalm 69 it's the kind of the ministry album.
We reviewed
back
it.
And forth, but we reviewed it. Yeah, back and forth between the Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste and this, because Mind is when it gets a little heavier, still pretty synth heavy, but it gets heavier, and then Psalm 69 gets really heavy and really crazy and synthy. And this would be the album that made them way more popular, I guess. They were popular in the 80s to a certain crowd, kind of that synthwave crowd, but this, like the metal crowd, got on board with this. And it's got NWO, Scarecrow, it's a deep cut, but one of my favorites, Just One Fix, Jesus Built My Hot Rod. I actually have the single for Jesus Built My Hot Rod. And Psalm 69, the title track. And then the TV songs start on this. Ministry albums have like this TV song series where it's just usually like a crazy fast guitar riff and a bunch of like TV noise in the background, like news channels and shit. So that started it with, I think that's the start of TV song, that album. So yeah, Psalm 69. I'll have it on vinyl soon. I don't know why I haven't bought it yet. It's been in my cart for like, since I started collecting vinyl. I just haven't pulled the trigger. And it's been 21 ever since. And I'm like, I need to get it before it goes up. But anyways, yeah. Ministry.
That's the hardest part is like, even like especially when you go out in the wild and you see something and you're like, I can have this now, or I can buy something on my eBay cart or my Amazon cart.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm just going to get this because it's here. I'm just going to get it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, like that Human League one that I showed earlier, that's been in my eBay cart for like 6 months, and I saw it and I was like, I'm just going to get this and knock
it done. Yeah. And you can take it off the watch list.
Yep.
So
it's such a good feeling when you take them off the watch list.
Yeah. That cracks my top 5. Yeah.
Number 4. It was the right one. I just didn't see it. It looked like I only had 3 left, or 2 left, and I had 3 left.
All right. So you're number 4.
3, 2, and then yeah. Okay.
And then we do 1. Yes.
1978 again. What I consider the best debut album of all time.
Yeah. I saw the text. Yeah. I was like, yeah, nice.
I listen to this more so much. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's an OG. I've had this, and this is from my original collecting. There's no way I couldn't have this. The cover's beat up. The seam is busted.
Seasoned.
Yeah, oh yeah. Look at that. Look at those guys. Just wore out.
Guys. I keep seeing it at Walmart, and I'm like, I gotta get this.
Warner Brothers label, of course. Yeah, I mean, they could have put out one album, and I think that they.
Yeah, what do you say about
stood
it?
The test of time, Running with the Devil opens, Eruption, You Really Got Me, Ain't Talking About Love, I'm the One, Jamie's Crying, Atomic Punk, Feel Your Love Tonight, Little Dreamer. Possibly my favorite song from the album.
It's it's just front to back, man.
Ice Cream Man, which is just fun.
Yeah.
And On Fire, the closer, is on fire.
I forget about Atomic Punk. That's a sweet song too.
Yeah.
The whole album. I mean, there's not a bad song on it.
No. And I've heard people say that Little Dreamer's stupid and Ice Cream Man's stupid. It's like, yeah, but if those songs, and Little Dreamer's definitely not stupid. But I could see like not liking Ice Cream Man, but if it wasn't on it, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah. It's that nice little palate cleanser.
Yeah, right before you end it.
Change of pace.
All right, number
Right before you
three,
end, yeah.
also from 1978. This is this artist's fourth album, my favorite, and the one previous is what broke him and the band. And it's before he gets the next album is kind of poppy. Wanted to get a hit, and he did with a song called Hungry Heart on the River. But Bruce Springsteen,
I
Darkness
knew it
on
was
the
going
Edge
to
of
be
Town.
Bruce.
This is, to me, this is Badlands is on here. It opens the album. It's my favorite Bruce Springsteen song. Adam Raised the Cane, Something in the Night, Candy's Room, Racing in the Street, the title track. It's got The Promised Land with the harmonica, Factory, Streets of Fire, Prove It All Night, which is a set list staple. But like certain songs, like Prove It All Night, when the uh, piano kicks in or the keyboards kick in, like in live, everybody just goes fucking ape shit because it's like just one of those songs. It's
Yeah.
one that takes you back when you're listening, when you hear it live, it takes you back to the first time you heard the album. One of those. Um, and then number two, my favorite, this album kicks off my favorite era of Elvis. So
Okay.
from also this actually from 69, early 69, I think, January. From Elvis in
Beautiful.
Memphis with the 68 comeback special opening on the cover. But it's the same sessions that he did at Stax in Memphis that produced Kentucky Rain, Suspicious Minds, and Don't Cry Daddy, which aren't on the album. But In the Ghetto ends the album, which is a big one. Uh, but yeah, it's just
In the
something about
ghetto. Oh
the
my god, I forgot.
sound. Something about the sound of this album is just so different. It's
It
produced
just
very
hits
well.
right.
All the players are not like his typical band. It's like session guys, seasoned. They know what they're doing, and Elvis
Yeah.
kind of just goes in there, just goes off. And his voice, this is when he finds that mature Elvis sound. It's not that little
Yeah.
kid sound, that it was in the 50s and high pitch. He's singing from his fucking balls.
It's him coming in. It's Elvis coming into Elvis's own. Like he's really.
Yeah.
How deep
And
into his discography is that?
this would be so, like I said, the
69.
60s is mainly movie soundtracks. But he
Okay.
did sprinkle in a couple of non-movie stuff through the 60s, but this was like the first like big return. This is like the one
Okay.
where you see people get like the original master recordings and stuff of this one, and like you spend $200 on a vinyl for it. And this one
Gotcha.
is the deep groove version. Um, so it's got a really full, robust sound. It's killer. And I got this for my birthday last year for myself,
Oh,
from my
nice.
wife and my kids.
It's an OG, or
Yeah,
you
it's
said?
an
Okay,
OG.
cool.
Yep, pressed
Nice.
in the great city
You're
of
like the king
Rockaway,
of
New
finding
Jersey.
OGs. That's awesome. I should probably listen to Elvis. I know a lot of folks that are like older folks that are
Yeah,
Elvis people. Like they like just
yeah,
collecting Elvis stuff.
yeah. Stuff like the plates and stuff that came out, like the
Yeah.
Bradford Exchange or whatever it's
A
called.
lot of just Elvis stuff.
I don't like it when like I have a conversation with an older person, and I'm talking like grandparent old to me,
Yeah.
even at 38. And they're like, "Oh, well, it's like I liked Elvis's young stuff, but when he started wearing the jumpsuits, it got silly." And I'm like, "No, he
That's when
just
it got
looked
good.
silly to you. That's when his
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
got good because he stopped talking
Yeah.
about hound dogs and teddy bears. He started talking about real shit,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Real life
civil
shit.
rights and, depression, and his Priscilla leaves him and they get divorced, and, and that's kind of like that tail end, like when you get to like the mid 70s, and he died in 77. When you get to that point, it's like man, this dude, that's one thing. He never lost his voice. Yeah, he got fat from all the pills and he was constipated and all that
But he
shit.
always sounded
Bloated,
great.
but he sounded fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I just
Yeah.
think that run, that 68 to 77 is the best just for his voice alone and the songs.
Okay. I like it. All right. Cracking deeper into my top 5. At number 4, I have Typo Negative, October Rust. What an opus this album is. I mean, Bloody Kisses.
We covered that one too.
We did cover this one. Bloody Kisses, like, that was one of Roadrunner's first big records, or I think it was the Roadrunner's first big record, or gold or whatever. This is Typo's 4th album, technically. Origin of the Feces is a fake live album. Slow, Deep, and Hard is still like leftover carnivore stuff from Pete's old band.
So is it like
Typo.
fake live, as in they just recorded it live in the studio?
Yeah, basically, and added crowd noise and stuff. Because I guess
gotcha.
I guess Roadrunner wanted like a live album, and they're like, we have one album. Like, what are we supposed to do? So they just basically re-recorded the songs from the first album with different titles and made it sound like a live album. Like, there's a bomb threat and all kinds of stuff during it, and like it started the "You Suck" chants, because when they would come on stage, people chant "You Suck" because Pete, and he'd be like, "Fuck you, you paid to see us, you fucking suck," and then they start jamming. Like, just this Typo's sense of humor is just something else.
Yeah,
but I think Typo Negative. I think October Rust is just an opus from start to finish. It's "Love You to Death" is such a beautiful song. "Be My Judas," "Green Man," "Red Water," "My Girlfriend's Girlfriend" with that little synth at the start.
I love that song. I mean, when we reviewed it, I was like, oh, that's
a great song, man. "Die With Me," "Burnt Flowers Fallen," "In Praise of Bacchus." Like, what a cool song. Like, "In Praise of Bacchus," the god of wine, and he's basically drinking and talking to him like while drinking wine. Like, he's like,
drink from the goblet
like
of
when he
my
says
cock.
hey it's like when he says "Hey Bacchus," he's taking a sip of wine. Like "Cinnamon Girl," the cover,
super good.
"Wolf Moon," "Haunted." It's just, there's not a bad song on this album, and it was less pop. It sold less good or less well as Bloody Kisses. Like, the album's kind of declined,
which would be the obvious choice.
What's
Bloody Kisses?
Bloody Kisses. Yeah, and I love I love their whole discography, but I could almost put "World Coming Down" as my favorite. It's such a dark album, but God, it's fucking good. It's really good.
Bloody Kisses, I think most people, and this comes from someone, I mean, I've heard most of their discography.
Yeah.
But if not all, at some point, because I had a friend in my teenage years that was his favorite band. That them and Led Zeppelin were his two big bands.
That's great.
But like Bloody Kisses was like, Black Number One was one of those ones that you heard on MTV and VH1 all the time, and
it was big.
Yeah. So I think that would be the common answer. I think yours is the right answer, because I think that album, in my opinion,
it's a better album. Yeah, Bloody Kisses is good. It's really good. Yeah. And again, I like their whole discography.
Because Bloody Kisses also has Christian Woman on it, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and
those
that line at the end.
They bookend, right?
Yeah.
Christian Woman and
Black Number One goes, or Christian Woman goes into Black Number One.
Okay, yeah.
Christian
so
Woman
it's like
comes first, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Let's see real quick. I'm pretty sure Christian Woman's the second track, and Black Number One.
I thought Black Number One was the last track.
No, it's like the second or third song.
Okay.
But anyways, October Rust is just a masterpiece of musically. Like, Peter Steele is such a just insanely talented songwriter and poet, basically. My number 3, went back and forth on this one, but I got to go Ride the Lightning. This is the Walmart blue color. The songs on all the guys on the back. I was going to do Injustice for All, but as we talked about in the start, like, I was back and forth on it before we recorded. I just can't, like, Injustice for All, I think, is a structurally sound album, but the lack of bass just knocks it down. And, like, you can listen to people do it on YouTube, like, where they crank up the bass, and it sounds good, but Ride the Lightning, man, I mean, and it was, like, it's Fight Fire with Fire, So fast, such a fast song. The song "Ride the Lightning," "For Whom the Bell Tolls," "Fade to Black," the acoustic intro. Like I know back in the day, it was like, "What the hell? This is a thrash band." And then like "Fade to Black" is such a beautiful song, even though it's like about basically. "Trapped Under Ice," "Escape," "Creeping Death," "Call of Cthulhu," a masterpiece. Shout out to Dave Mustaine. I know he likes credit. He wrote most of the riffs on this album. He wrote a lot of riffs. So Dave, you get yours from me. You are part of the reason why Metallica's
Give me credit.
Yeah, he always goes on about that. But Ride the Lightning, I've kind of always kept as like one of my favorites because it's just like Kill 'Em All's amazing, but Ride the Lightning was like they really took it to the next level. And then I could put Master of Puppets up here, but I've heard that album so much that I've kind of like knocked it down a peg. Not because it's not good. It's just I've listened to Master of Puppets a lot. And not the song. Like, I like Battery. I like The Thing That Should Not Be. I like Damage Incorporated, Orion. But yeah, Call of Cthulhu, you get your first instrumental, and then Orion follows on, which is short. We have a short coming up of that.
It's out already.
It's out already. There we go. So that's my number 3, Ride the Lightning. It's a good, safe Metallica pick. I could put the Black Album, but again, it's kind of like Master Puppets. I've heard it a lot, and it's just, I think Ride the Lightning is just an amazing record front to back. Speaking of amazing records front to back, number 2, definitely like if it was a top 5 favorite albums of all time, this is like 2 or 3 for sure, probably 2, and that's why it's here. Alice in Chains, Dirt, another just. It's just there's not a bad song. If I had to pick a song I don't like, it's probably Godsmack, and it's just the way Wayne sings. It's weird.
It's the name of the song,
and it's the name of the song. Yeah, but. Them bones, damn that river.
So far
When I beat that name by into my vein.
It's one of those bands that we always talk about that, like around here, everybody likes them. And
yeah, it's like the Disturbed and Godsmack thing. Yeah, I'm not a huge Godsmack guy, but they obviously got their name from this. Dirt is just, speaking of an opus, like it's just it's one of my favorite albums of all time. I have to have it at all times. Them Bones, Damn That River, Rain When I Die, Down in a Hole, Rooster, Dirt, the song Dirt makes you feel disgusting. Junkhead, I love that. Hate to Feel an Angry Chair was like Lane's take on kind of writing some guitar licks. And then Wood, of course, which would probably be nowadays, would probably be the most popular off this record, would be Wood. Yeah. But I think still my favorite Alice in Chains song is Man in the Box because it's a little bit of everything. But the only thing it doesn't have is the harmonizing of Jerry and Lane, which this album, you get a lot more of their signature Alice in Chains sound of the vocal harmonies. So, yeah, number 2. And it would be probably number 2 on my favorite records of all time as well. So,
yeah. And then, so my number 1 is my favorite record of all time. And the Elvis was my second, and the Bruce was my third. But I also play them that much. My favorite record of all time I've been playing because it is the next album we're doing on my other show, Critical Kiss. Go check out that channel. The recording was supposed to already been done. Something came up, so it didn't get done. Hopefully next 2 weeks we'll get it out before the end of May. All right, so from 1977, this is the last of like with all 4 original members technically to play on the entire record. This is the album that cemented them as the number 1 band from America at the time. This is Kiss, Love Gun. My favorite album of all time, my favorite song of all time, my favorite album cover of all time. I think this cover trumps Destroyer. I think it's awesome. Opens with I Stole Your Love, which I think should have been Kiss's opening song on tour, every tour, from the beginning to the end. I think it's the best album opener. And I know a lot of people, and I'll talk about it on that show too, but I think a lot of people think that Love Gun, the song itself, should open the album. I don't agree with that. I think I Stole Your Love is the perfect opener.
No, because Love Gun's it's such a good song that if you open with it, then like, not that the rest of the album's not good.
Yeah. But I mean, it opens side B, and side B is a little weaker. So I'll show this, and it has the custom. Don't worry, people. I clean my records before I listen to them. If I can
I
get it
have
in
the
there,
OG as
it has
well.
the album covers on the label. But I Stole Your Love, Christine 16, which I know people want to cancel that song. Whatever, I don't care. It's a good song.
Fuck
Got Love for
people.
Sale, Shock Me, Ace's first lead
Shock
vocal,
me. That is
Tomorrow
Ace. That's
Tonight,
right.
uh, and then side B, Love Gun, Hooligan, which is Peter's one vocal on the album. Not my favorite. Almost Human, a cool demony Gene song. Plaster Caster about getting your ding dong molded for a love toy.
Hey, love,
Um,
dicks, boob. I mean, that's Kiss's lyrical
yep,
content, man.
that's Kiss in a nutshell for you. And
It's
then
funny.
the album closes with a cover of "Then He Kissed Me," but they change it to "Then She Kissed Me." Um, and I mean, I like it. I know a lot of people think it's stupid, but I like it. So
No,
whatever.
Love
Kiss Love
Gun
Gun number
is
one.
the song Love Gun alone makes it like it's a great
Song's about Paul Stanley's
song,
dick.
man. And Christine 16, those are probably the two that I know the most off it, but like the rest of the album I don't, although I have it, I've listened to it,
Yeah,
but
Shock Me is pretty big.
Shock Me is big. Yeah, I've heard that a lot too because it's a and I always when I listen to him like, oh yeah, that's right, that's Ace singing because you
Yeah,
can tell he's got that certain his speaking voice and his singing voice are very similar. Like you can tell
yeah,
it's Ace, obviously because Gene has got that more growly sound and Paul's
yeah.
whoa yeah. So, but
What?
yeah, Love Gun's been your favorite. I mean, I've always
Since I
known that's
was
your
a
favorite
kid, yeah,
album. Yeah, yeah. Since
never
we met
changed.
each other, what 12 years ago or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
That's like the album that changed everything for me.
for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
My
surprisingly
number.
it wasn't the album that made me a Kiss fan. It was just the album that solidified them as like I'm gonna love this band till the day I die. And
Yeah,
hope that I get buried in a Kiss casket or my ashes are put in a Kiss urn,
or
whichever that is
painted with a
decided.
kiss makeup or
Yeah.
whatever when you're dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
My number one as well, obviously, but my number one is pretty similar to that. It's been my favorite for a long time, but it's also on your list.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Maiden. I almost said Kiss. Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time from 1986. The artwork is iconic. This is a 2015 repress. It's their remaster. It's the Walmart one, so it's yellow vinyl. I just like I still remember the night I got this CD from Walmart and came home and put it in my CD player, and I had to go to bed soon because I was young enough to have a bedtime still, and I just remember turning it on and I was like, oh my god, like because I didn't really heard anything off of it. I knew Wasted Years and stuff,
Yeah.
and Heaven Can Wait, but there's just not a song I don't like on this album, and actually Stranger in a Strange Land's probably my favorite. It was always my favorite song, but man, Deja Vu, it's a deep cut, and that's probably my favorite song on this album. Like I
It's
love
pretty killer.
Deja Vu. Alexander the Great and Alexander the Great would be the proggy-ish song on this kind of like Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner from Power Slave gets that prog thing going on, just the different sections of a song. And Alexander the Great kind of follows that. So yeah, it really starts with Power Slave, but I just love every song on this. Sea of Madness would be like the weakest one for me. And it's not
And I
really even
like that
weak.
one. Yeah.
It's not weak. Adrian wrote that one. And I'm pretty sure it was
Oh,
Adrian
that's
Smith.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he wrote that's like his songwriting credit. But Stranger and Strange on do 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 Banner Heaven Can Wait. Caught Somewhere in Time is just the synths, the guitar synth opening that, like Wasted Years. I mean it's just an amazing record. Like so it's kind of always been my favorite since I got it. But Seventh Son, like this, I always say this album walks so Seventh Son can run. And that's really like the way I describe it the best. And then No Prayer for the Dying happens, and you're like, wait a second, what happened? But not that it's like terrible.
Where was
but
that trajectory we were on?
yeah, it went whoa, and we got to build back up. But yeah, Cyborg Eddie. I mean, it's probably like unanimously a
So
favorite
cool.
Eddie, and it's Somewhere in Time, man. It's my
Well,
favorite
and like
record of all time.
when we reviewed the album, we talked about the cover and all the little different like
so many
Easter eggs on
details.
it. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so cool.
so many details on it. And Derek Riggs' art, like I mean, it was part of Maiden. Like that's what made them. And their modern art's not bad, but Derek, you can tell it's not Derek Riggs because just the sheer amount of detail and effort put into it. Like not that the newer art doesn't, but I think Derek Riggs' last one he did was No Prayer for the Dying, or I don't think he did Fear of the Dark. He left. I think he did another album, and then I'd have to look at it again. I always forget, but I know he did the whole original run, that whole '80s run. So yeah, Summer in Time, favorite album of all time for sure. And I like things kind of like someone's like maybe that's my favorite album. No, it's Summer in Time.
Well,
And
like
it's not
even since we've started doing this, I've heard you say like I think Somewhere in Time is my favorite Maiden album. Like sometimes you're kind of like on the fence.
It depends what I'm listening to, because sometimes like I'll hear Power Slave and be like, man, Power Slave's good, but I'm like, I still like Summer in Time more. Or Seventh Son, I'll hear, or Brave New World. Like Brave New World's up there. It's up there, but it's hard to beat.
One of these days you'll finish.
I'll rank them properly.
Rank
well, now that we're on a new channel, I'll probably just do a whole video of it and just get it done. So then I can't make any excuses. Yeah, because the series makes it hard for me to do, because then I'm like, oh, I got to do another one, but I'll just rank the whole discography in one video and call it a day. Maybe it'll be a tier list. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, that's our top 10 albums that we own physically and like can't live without, I guess. Kind of have to have
and like we listen to it the most.
We listen
the title
to the
for
most,
this will be up to the algorithm.
Yeah,
honestly.
Exactly. So
yeah.
That's that.
Long chat.
A long chat. I got to get moving. You got to get moving. And we're going to leave it there. So thanks for watching the shorts. We appreciate the likes and comments and stuff on those. Keep that rolling. If you like it, tell us. If you hate it, tell us. Leave a like, subscribe, share it. We'll be back with more episodes. It's been a little bit since we tried to go every 2 weeks, but I think we're on 3 weeks now since our last episode. Yeah, so we kind of fell off, but
we'll get it.
Yeah, once we get the flow going, it'll help. But as long as we keep pumping shorts, that helps too. And then again, us doing solo videos. Like I want to do some solo, just vinyl reviews or whatever. Like we can do whatever solo. And again, you got Critical Kiss.
Even if you do like you get a new vinyl and you talk about it on a solo video, that doesn't mean it can't make it into the next together video when we talk about what we just got. So that's just more time spent on one album. But
exactly. So and check out Critical Kiss, because it's a pretty cool channel. It's you, Brant
from In My Head, and then AJ. He's got AJ's Happy Fun Time channel. He talks about a little bit of everything. It's pretty silly, and it's
The Critical Kiss is a good show.
Instagram, Clairvoyant Audio Files. That was the first
Eddie in the background.
Best step. And then Facebook also, which honestly it's kind of popped off, and I'm happy about it. As long as people are seeing what we're sharing, the shorts where we just put on like the vinyl, like obviously we're not going to make any money off that ever, but it's just showing you kind of like what we like, what we listen to, what we're listening to that day. Sometimes it's just something we throw on.
And as always, the content gets better as we progress. It's a new channel, so we're still like we've done it before, but this is a new channel, just a fresh start. So we're going to kind of try to elevate it. So anyways, on that note, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all that stuff, and tell your friends.
Tell your enemies.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.